back again, everyone. It's another exciting one on Exciting Moment with Debbie. And as you all know me, my name is Debbie Shokoya, a beautiful wife to a fine young blessed man. Hence the name Aya Adetola. I don't know when we are going to be hearing this, so maybe I should say Happy Christmas in advance and Happy New Year in advance, or Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance, whichever one. Guys, today I bring you an amazing episode. I bring to you all something unique, something great. And my guest in the studio with me today is someone I really, really admire, someone I adore, someone I, hold in high esteem. If you want to talk about humility, simplicity, and wisdom, we can say this person is all of that. Yes, he's embodied with so much greatness. Don't let me stress you guys too much. Welcome into the studio with me, the Godfather. ID Cabasa is with me in the studio today. It's a big deal. Trust me, guys. It's a whole lot. It feels like I'm having, an ancestor sitting with me here. So it's such a great honor.
Hello, wow.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Debbie, for having me.
Welcome,
And by
sir.
the way, I'm not a godfather.
You're not a godfather.
Because I still have God, who is my own father.
Yes, you have God, which is your own father. But in the music industry, you're a godfather. And
I'm a small boy in that industry. Let's just keep it that way.
I know you're so humble, and it's really, really amazing to see you that with everything that you have achieved and you are still achieving, because I know you're still living your life. You're such an humble person and so simple. How do you undo this? Fame is a lot, too.
So personally, I am careful to agree that I'm actually humble.
Okay.
I am very careful to admit that, because a lot of times what we see as humility can be feigned weakness. When people are weak, when you are broke, automatically there's every tendency that you'll be humble.
Okay.
Probably because you don't have the means to actually fund your pride. So you can look to people like you are humble. So I'm careful when I use that word humble for myself, because I know deep down inside of me, I still have my insecurities, which I try to also portray like ego.
Yeah.
And there are sometimes too that I won't say me, but for a lot of people, they appear humble, but deep down, they are just trying to camouflage a whole lot of things that they don't want people to see. So I would say I'm a work in progress, because I still, from your definition of humility now, is because you have not seen me get angry. It's because you have not seen me act in some ways.
But you're human. You can have all of these things.
So that was why I said we have to be very careful. But if you say in terms of me being calm with people, yes, I can be that, and I can also be otherwise.
Okay.
Depending on what is coming to me. But it's a good thing when people say, yes, you are humble. I like it. I won't say I don't like it. But I'm also careful not to allow what people call humility for me become a pride.
Yeah. Because, in this world, where we have just very, very few people that, they still want to be grounded. In this world whereby, especially when fame comes in, there's so much, that they go all about doing.
But, fame comes with not pride. But most times, the question is the way people see pride, which was what I was trying to explain to you. The day you become famous, you will be forfeiting the right to do some things. You also be forfeiting some privileges that you've always had. Some of the privileges that you are going to forfeit is some relationships, because most times it might not even come from you that you are famous. It will come from the way expectation from the people, especially those close to you.
Yeah.
What gets us disappointed most times is our expectation. What people expect from you is what gets you disappointed. And most times, the expectation of the people close to the guy that is becoming famous, most times can make them become so confused with their identity that they want to be humble towards you. But what they are becoming, which is famous, also is demanding otherwise. Not that it's demanding pride or arrogance, but it's demanding, let me use the word boldness, is demanding value.
Oh, yeah.
So most times people will see you as they've known you all the while, Debbie, to be probably they've known Debbie to be, let's say, 5/10.
Okay.
Now Debbie has become popular. Debbie has become, let's say, an 8/10 or 9/10. So because I've known you to be 5/10, I still want to be dealing with you
As the
from the
5/10.
place of 5/10. But you have become 10/10. So I would say you are arrogant because I expect you to be 5/10, but I would think you are faking what you have become. So at the end of the day, the question you ask is it that you have become arrogant, or it is me that is actually not seeing the value
I totally understand.
that you carry? So most times fame comes with some level of, because to actually maintain fame, you need to create more value, and value is embedded in scarcity.
Yes.
Where you become scarce, where you become rare,
Yes.
where you are not seen everywhere, you need to also reduce what we call see-finish syndrome and all of that.
Cabasa, I don't know, is it that you were born or you grew up in Bariga? I think I heard something like that you grew up in Bariga.
Okay, we should clear that. I'm an Akoka boy. AKOKA. It's close to Bariga.
Okay.
But my church was in Bariga.
Okay.
In fact, that Ilaje.
Okay.
Bellow Street in Ilaje. So, and I went to primary school around Akoka. So most of the guys that I get to play with that were my mates in secondary school and in primary school were Bariga boys. So I can tell you that I'm also
a
Bariga boy, born, bred, buttered
in Bariga.
Yeah.
Cabasa, when we hear this Bariga, no disrespect actually, but we get to have a certain thought about these places. And someone like you coming out from this place and you are so principled and, I would say full of values. How did that work? How were you able to balance this amidst where you grew?
I think we should first correct the impression people have about Bariga.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm more of an Akoka boy than even Bariga. But the same thing on immediate.
Yeah.
Let me first put this down that Akoka, if you look at Lagos State, is technically the hub of education. You have the University of Lagos there.
Yeah,
I grew up around the University of Lagos.
Oh.
I went to St. Finbar's College, which is one of the most popular secondary schools in this Lagos. Right in front of my secondary school was Federal Government College of Education.
Okay.
There is Abatech around me.
Jaba, yeah.
I attended Uloli Primary School, which is right beside University of Lagos. So I am surrounded with education. So there is no way you can actually, in such a way, cage me into some of the vices that people hear about Bariga.
Okay.
So I grew up around, I won't say my parents were the richest or were so rich and all that, but I grew up around sanity.
Yes.
In terms of, it's a kind of environment that encourages you to go to school. You are almost like a bastard if you don't want to go to school and all of that. I grew up in a Christian home where I'm being taught a whole lot of things. Does that actually mean that was just it? I would say it was part of it, but most importantly, which is where I really need to say that a whole lot of us grew up around all of that, but we did not become this. Yeah. So I think that has more to do with the kind of decisions that you decide to take as a human being. When we were growing up, I'm sure while you were growing up, who did you look like, your dad or your mom?
I think it was my mom or my dad. I'm not sure.
Okay, let's say for me now, I looked more like my mom.
Okay.
Growing up, when people come to visit us, they will say, Omo Yabeji, Ojo Yabeji.
Okay.
But right now, nobody is telling me I look like anybody. Do you know what I look like now?
Yourself.
My decisions. Decisions to see that, okay, people are drinking and I decide not to go that route, probably because of some things that I've seen. My decision to say, okay, people decided to say school is scam, and they were justified by some of the things they were saying then. And my decision to say, let me still go to school. It's still a good, what is it called? Choice to make in all of that. So we eventually, the environment has a lot to do with how we grow, but much more our response to that environment, our decisions that we make as regards that environment. The same Akoka Bariga that people talk about, Olamide came out from it, Nice came out from it, Rugged Man came out from it, Nathaniel Bassi came out from that area. Loads of gospel artists, by the way, that my area, loads of gospel artists, loads of saint people came out from that area. So it's not really about the area, it's about the decisions and responses that you take when it comes to all of those wood.
Yeah, I get you. And that's really nice. Meaning that your decision is what would, definitely make you. So it's not about your environment.
You are sum total of all the decisions that you make.
Yes, yeah. I get you. So now you studied law at first?
No, I studied,
or what did you study?
Okay, Economics? This was my journey. I did medicine for like 2 years.
Okay, medicine, yeah.
Went to study economics, and after my economics, whatever, I did masters, worked with 2 Nigerian banks.
Okay.
And I'm working for myself.
You're working for yourself. Then you went into music. So for someone that went into medicine, even law was even better. So you went to so you were probably looking at yourself to become a doctor, yeah?
My parents probably wanted me to be that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was why you went for that?
Not that my parents wanted me to be that. I think it was because I did science in secondary school.
Okay.
So I got admission to study that, but I knew I was not going to do it. So immediately I did another JAM, which gave me admission into Lagos State University to study economics.
So how did music come up when you went through medicine and economics and then music?
No knowledge is lost. No knowledge is a waste. When I was growing up, now it's easier to tell parents to send their kids to school to study music, because now music is seen as a career.
Yes, it is.
That people can actually do stuff with. Initially I was doing music just for the passion, just for the love of it, which was why when I decided to study economics, I wanted something that is in the commercial line that we call it then, which is social science.
Yes.
That is very hard, because I believe that I was intelligent. Not that I'm intelligent, that I can, but I needed something that would tax my brain. That was my major reason for studying economics, not because I wanted to, but deep down inside me, I've always been having that part of, I will still do this music thing. I will do this, not just music. If I tell people that music was not the first thing that I did in art, they won't believe.
What was the first thing?
It was acting.
Oh, so you acted before?
But not all those commands. I was a celeb boy.
Okay.
So we do, for the Celestial system, I don't know now, the Celestial system then had, that is why if you check your industry, you see a lot of celeb people.
Yes.
Because they had a system for arts, music and drama. As a young boy, the Korea Omode, you'll be told to act. I fell in love with it. I had a lot of celebrities that were acting. This Baba Olaiya.
Igwe.
Not Igwe. Sheun's dad. Directors.
Yes, I guess. I've forgotten his name, but I know.
Like
Sheun Olaya's.
Yeah, Sheun Olaya's dad.
Yeah.
It was actually Babewe in my church where I grew up. So I know Sheun.
Oh, yeah.
So there is that system that influenced all of us to actually want to do art and all of that. So I was acting. Then at some point, I discovered that they were giving more attention to the guys that were doing music, that were singing. So I decided to also join them. The first time I actually joined them for a Korean one, I was bounced.
Why?
They said I can never sing.
You didn't have a good voice.
That was what they said.
You said that was what they said.
So why I said that was what they said was that was what actually propelled me to go deeper into music.
Wow.
I was young, very young. I think I was like 8 thereabouts.
Okay.
So my dad was Anglican, so I started following my dad to his own church. I now picked a whole lot of interest in music because they said I can't do it.
Okay.
Just to prove people wrong.
Wrong that you can.
So I started doing, and before you know what was happening, I was able to do all of that. So for me, I think it was more of the church background that really gave me that yearning to want to do music.
You create beats, yeah?
I create beats. I write
How did you come about creating beats? That's like a talent on its own, yeah? And I believe for someone that they bounce back and say you can't do music. So how did you come about creating beats and...
Yeah, asking me questions that we won't leave this place, but I will just sum it up as in. So the first love I had in music was to play musical instruments.
Okay.
So I discovered that I could actually come up with stuff very early, as far as back as when I was in secondary school. Then we're preparing to do a song. I know how to come up with intros. People that are musicians, know these things that I say. I could come up with arrangements and all of those things. And I also discovered that I found it very easy to learn virtually every musical instrument. I play virtually every musical instrument. I know how every musical instrument actually works.
Wow.
So I discovered that I could create intros, I could create arrangements, all of those things. I could also write, by the way. I could write
music,
my own,
lyrics.
Yes, I could also write lyrics, write songs and all of that. So as I was growing, the likes of Laulu Kings and some of those top babas that were doing music, then I keep hearing, I could go to studio. I was very young. I would go to Aphrodisa studio, and I saw what producers were doing, trying to help people bring all of those arrangements together. And I discovered that this is what I do for free in church. So that was why I picked more interest in actually being a music producer, to create music, to help people bring life to their ideas and all of that.
You actually look like someone that's ever been a choir master. Were you?
I was a choir director for years.
Really?
Yeah. And even I think till now, the choir director actually reports to me in my church.
Wow, that's really nice. So this, from what I can pick, is that it started very early and you discovered it and you kept working on yourself personally.
Yeah.
You went to school to learn music or
by the way, I have a bit of a formal education in music, but not that I went to any university.
Okay.
There's this course they call ABRSM. I did the ABRSM exam, which is actually from the UK. That is what they do in Muson nowadays. I did ABRSM, and also secondary school, I did music.
Okay.
I started sight reading way very early. I think I was like 13 thereabout when I started sight reading. For those that don't understand sight reading is actually reading music as it is written down.
Oh, yeah.
I could do all of that as a very young boy. And by the way, I said my dad was Anglican. So that too helped with the formal side of the music. Yeah.
Sometimes I look at it that one of those things that affects people in life when growing is the fear of the unknown. Yeah. I don't know why it starts, but when, for example, now, this particular, when I was acting, yes, people have gotten compliments from people saying you cannot, and I'm getting jobs from here and there. But at a point, I stopped feeling it like I should. And I was like, okay, I want to go for something more. But I was scared because I felt like if I was going to move from this point where I am, I probably won't get it right there. And it would be hard to come here, movie industry is like the moment you are away for a while, it's going to affect you. It probably would set you back a bit. So, a lot of people have these issues, and I'm sure it's not just my industry, not just acting, other industries too. What do you see to this fear of the unknown?
Well, it is fear, because behind every fear is the unknown.
Yeah.
So it is fear. So this is how I see fear. I see fear the same way fear comes to everybody. But I know deep down that fear is not the problem.
What is the problem?
The problem is your response.
To the fear?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a Christian. I've heard people say that fear is the opposite of faith. I don't agree.
Why don't you agree?
Fear is an energy, is an emotion that is telling you that there is impending danger. Abi?
Yes,
that is why you are scared.
That's why you're scared. You don't know what you meet where you're going to.
So what fear is trying to tell you is that there is impending danger. Your response to it is the problem. It's either you go with faith or you go with doubt. It's either you go with faith in your heart.
That you can get it done.
Yes, that you can get it done. Because when people say be fearless, it's not the absence of fear. It's less of it.
Okay, like you can still be.
When I tell you
scared.
Fearless, be fearless now. Fear and less. Mm-hmm. That is what makes that word together.
Yes.
So technically, what I'm telling you is there is going to be fear. But regardless of that, still do it. But you can only do it from a place of if you have built faith over time. Mm-hmm. Faith in God, faith in some of the things that you know, and all of that. Because when people pray for courage, courage is not the absence of fear. It's actually strength to still do it despite being scared to do it. And that is how I see fear. I see fear. When fear comes, what I do, what I ask myself is, what response am I going to give it? If I have faith, it helps me to know the power of God. That at least God is able, if myself is not able, that I can still go through it. But if I have doubt, then what I will start looking at will be everything that is going to discourage me from going there. Remember, I said to be fearless, you need courage.
Yes.
So if I go the route of doubt, which comes most times when we depend on ourselves.
So what should we depend on?
God. And I will say why. Because depending on yourself actually reduces depending on yourself is limited. Because you are everything that you have become, everything that you have experienced, you know. And you said it's fear of the unknown. So the only one that is aware of the unknown is God. So if your faith is in him, there's a way he navigates. You know he's able. He can do this, he can do that. He that has helped me to achieve all the stuff that I achieved when I was acting, he is also able. Because when I was getting to that too, I was scared. But now I'm also scared, which gives me vulnerability.
So when you were getting to music, you were scared?
Till date, I'm still scared.
Why are you scared? You have come this far. Okay.
That is the danger to it. Because for me, I treat everything as if I'm just doing starting. It new. Yeah, starting all over. So for me, because I know what fear is, I know how to respond to it now that, well, I've done it before. God that did it before through me can still do it again. So I'm coming to it now with the fact of, okay, let's even see what it is. Most of the things we are scared of or we are afraid of, most times fear is behind those fear is what we want to become.
Yes.
Behind those fears is what we want to become. So it's either you decide not to become those things or you decide to face the fear, answer it with faith and go over fear to become those things. So when you know what is hidden behind those things, that it's about the I might not achieve these things. It will help you to actually conquer fear. Also look at it this way. I would rather prefer you do the unknown, as in you go to a place that you don't know, than to go to a place that you know that you should not go.
I don't get that.
Let me explain again. Okay, I know that I'm not supposed to go to that place.
Okay.
I am aware. But this one, I'm not aware that I'm not aware of what is there. I would prefer you go to the unknown than go to a place that you know that you are going to fail. Because most of the things that we have done that, we have seen that, we know that there's nothing new coming from there. But because we just want to be comfortable, we want to stay there.
Comfort.
Yeah, and comfort is a scam, is a major problem for most of us.
Comfort is a scam.
Yes. Why I would say comfort is where you find yourself. Comfort is where dreams die. Comfort is where you don't want to do anything new. You don't want to achieve so much more. You just want to be there. And unfortunately, you'll be so comfortable to the point that you will fizzle out and you won't know. In fact, people will still be greeting you, will still be hailing you that, I like that your movie. But you will know that you are in the place of comfort and you have actually expired by the time they told you that. Did you remember that movie that you did in 1940 something? And in your head, you'll be like, 1940 something. The ones that I'm doing now, are you guys not seeing it? It's because you have been so comfortable in your own skin. Because what you are created as a human being, you are meant to be evolving. Per time, you are meant to be evolving every now and then. You are not supposed to stay static. You are supposed to be evolving over time. So fear is also one of the reasons why you don't want to evolve, because you are scared that if you leave this particular place, people might not want to dig with you. No, that is your head telling you that. But if you have faith in your heart, then you can actually go ahead and just do what God wants you to do. So fear is good, and I won't lie to you. It's an energy. Fear is like love. Fear is like any other energy. It is not the problem of the energy, but the problem is your own response to it. That is where the word responsibility comes in.
Yeah. When
we hear words like responsibility, don't let it come to your head that is a burden.
Okay.
Break that word into two. You have responsibility. That is your ability to actually give the right response to what is coming to you. So if fear is coming, what are you responding with? And responsibility also has to do a lot with us building capacity. Building capacity in terms of you are building yourself up, even for things that have not yet started. Sincerely, you need to keep building capacity. Building capacity in your work, what you do, going for seminars, reading books. I read a lot. Trust me.
You look like someone that read,
I
obviously.
I actually read. Beyond
do.
reading a lot, I also meditate a lot. I think through things. That is actually where my gifts actually lies. I can sit down and look into things. Then the third part is I question everything. Anything that doesn't allow you to question it, run. Religion is one of the things that doesn't allow you to question it.
Do you run from religion?
I run from religion. I stick with spirituality.
Okay.
There are two different things. Religion is man trying to contain God. Spirituality is man connecting with God. And connecting with fellow man. You understand? So anything that doesn't want me to question it, that doesn't want me to question, to me is a cult. So I don't want to get involved. But because in questioning, you will discover new things. And for every question that is answered, those answers will bring other questions that will calm you down to know that. And God in himself wants to be questioned. Because all the new things, like for a Christian, that God has promised you in 1 Corinthians 2, I think 9, that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, or can the mind of man fathom what God wants to do for those that love him. For you to get to that place, sincerely, you need to question, okay, the way they are doing things now, is that the way they will always be doing it? So God will now teach you, okay, I like this question that you are asking. So why are they doing it the way they are doing it? You will now see why they are doing it. But what if I do it this way? You will now start to see new ways of getting to do things. And that is where people will see you. They will call you a genius. They will call you this. They will call you all of that. So fear should be attacked with faith, not doubt. So fear will come. You will always be fearful. Fear will always come. But you don't allow it to rest by you having capacity to respond and also having faith in God in your heart.
Yeah, I get it. While you were talking, I remembered somebody that I know. I think a general manager of a bank, and the person was talking about him trying to, go study more because he wants to own a bank. And I was shocked, like, you're a general manager of a bank, somewhere that a lot of people, a position a lot of people really want to get to, and you want to leave that to go study just to own a bank. What if you don't successfully after bank? I don't know if you understand.
Success is a problem. I said that in one podcast that I did. That is one of the reasons why most of us are stranded is we want to be successful. There's this thing about games. They call it finite and infinite games.
Okay.
Finite games are definite. We know when you hear the word finite is it has a end. Then there's infinite game, which does not have a end. For most of the guys that watch football, that you win a match does not mean that you will still be in the league next season.
Okay.
So the guy that won a match is successful. So if success is all that he wants, he will show joy in winning that match that he will not know that there are several other matches to play. And he gets comfortable with just. But the guy that understands that, look, the goal is to qualify for Champions League next season. And the goal is also to keep playing in this league so that we don't go to relegation. Immediately they win, they like it, but they quickly move to the next match. So most of us, when we become successful, we become dormant. We just want to be say there that at least this one. It's like God taking you on a journey to 2030. You are now in 2023. God gave you Benz 2023 ML. You are driving it. Everybody around in 2023 will be hailing you. Debbie, you are fine. In 2024, few people will still be hailing you. By 2026, instead of you to have taken the next bus, which is to do the next thing God asks you to do, because people will still be seeing you, they will still be hailing you. By 2030, that your 2023 Benz has become obsolete.
Yeah.
That should not have happened to you if you understand playing the long game. That look, the journey is a journey, it's not a sprint. You understand? It's a journey that you keep doing. And you are not. Your goal is not to be successful. You treat success the way you treat failure. You understand? When you fail, you learn from it. When you succeed, you learn from it, and you move. For both, your goal should be greatness. Your goal, and like I normally define greatness, that greatness is not you being successful. Greatness is people finding success in what you have created. Other people being successful through the things that you have created. So that makes you a tree where you start having branches. And when you are greatness driven, success does not really last around you. Not that the success will not last, but the feeling of success does not last with you. You just say, okay, we have done this one. Let's quickly move to the next one. So you keep doing. It's inexhaustible. But for a man that is driven by success, any little thing like this, they are happy, they joy over
and
it.
They stick to it.
The banker that wants to own a bank, at some point we want to own what those people that own bank owns. That is to own the one that owns the bank. What? There is a level you get to that you become an agenda setter.
When I asked him, he said because he's tired, he feels like his life is looking like a daily routine.
That is a man. That is because for you to even be great in life, you need hunger. When I say hunger, I mean sorted bill, but not for food, but for more. When you are done with this and you are like, yes, I've actually conquered this particular place, I need to conquer more. You are never satisfied. The day you become like Nice and I, we did one song, I think it's in the album ID Cabasa, when I said mi o yo ebi opami, I'm not full, I'm not hungry, but I'm not full. You understand what I'm saying? Where on a daily basis you are asking, like Pinky and the Brain, that what are we conquering today? We want to conquer the world. That is what drives you, because that is what happens to a self-driven human being, not the one that needs to be motivated before he goes to work. The one that wants success will be motivated by the salary, will be motivated by probably people. But the one that is driven by greatness is motivated by what you have done yesterday.
Yeah.
You understand? What you have done yesterday has expired with yesterday. You want to just keep doing more and more. So that is greatness mindset, not the one that you just want to do one thing.
You know, what I look at is that I think the youth are not motivated enough. That's why they, tend to look for a super easy
Looking
life.
for motivation itself is a scam. Yes.
Everything is a scam.
Yeah, no. So why I said it's a scam is most of us, we focus too much on, you are looking for motivation. Motivation can actually help you start a thing, but it cannot sustain it. What you need is to be disciplined. Discipline is whether you feel like or you don't feel like, you keep doing.
You keep doing it.
Whether you feel like when you wake up to do it, discipline pushes you to do it. But when you are waiting for motivation, you need somebody to tell you are doing it well. You need somebody to tell you to keep doing it. And that cannot last. Even me that I'm motivating you, I need motivation too.
That's why they said all the therapists in Nigeria actually need therapy
too. You understand? So you don't need... Yes, motivation is not bad. And I will say this. Guys, I'm not saying motivation is bad. But be a more disciplined person where when it is painful, you still have to do it because that is what you have to do. Not when you are waiting for somebody to tell you to do it. No, motivation cannot really. For most of the youth that we have now, sincerely, I would tell you to embrace discipline rather than waiting for somebody to motivate you, which is where we start having loads of depressed people around, where they are waiting for people to like what they are doing. Where they
don't get the backup that they need and they are frustrated.
Sincerely, your major I know, I understand. So I won't say that I don't know and I don't understand, because sometimes too, which is why it's going to be hard to see me online, because I noticed that thing is fickle. Your care is not taken.
The social media thing.
Yes, I will so much focus on that, and I will be looking for affirmation from you understand, from all of that to do stuff. But I understand the place of discipline, that let me just keep doing what I do. People are watching, by the way. A lot of people are watching. Just keep doing it. Be consistent with it. That is even me motivating you. But much more. Build a discipline around you that if I perish, I perish. I shall do. You need discipline more than you need motivation.
What do you think about this thing going on online about Ola Dips? They said he forged, he's dead and he is like him trying to trend his music right now? Because after the management or so, they said, posted on the social media saying that he's dead. And the next thing we get to say that he's alive. And the next thing we are saying, music, stream my music, stream. What do you think about that? Do you think it's frustration to the point that...
Personally, Oladips is a boy I like that I know.
Okay.
Somebody came here with me. They
Okay.
are best of friends. I would rather talk to Oladips than talk about Oladips.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
I
you.
would rather sit down with Oladips,
Yes.
tell him some of the problems I have with what he did, than talk about him on here. If you sit down with Oladips, it will give you all the reasons why he did what he did. Most times when we correct people, we don't correct them for what is wrong. We correct them for what we don't like. So personally, I need to be careful so that I don't start to talk from the fact that I don't like what he did.
Okay.
I'm not really focused on what is wrong.
Yeah.
Oladips, if you sit Oladips down, I can probably pick his brain that he has seen a trend and a pattern in Nigeria that people wait till you die before they celebrate you. So he went that route to say, okay, let's see how they will react and all of that. Is that wise? Personally, for me, I would never have done that, because death is not something that I think anybody should be faking. It should not get to the point. Okay, let me give you an example of a top popular musician in Nigeria. I shared it with the person's son recently, and I was in Akure. We're doing Area Omoluabi that year, and I sat down with this veteran in the juju music industry. It was so big. This person that I'm talking about is so big. I'm trying to put respect because that story is a bit touchy.
Yeah.
That I don't want to mention names. He said there was a time he was trying to sell records. The press guys around him, the PR team, now put out that so and so person's real father surface. The mom, who happens to be an Iyaijo in a CNS church, upright woman and all of that, head of the news, and was surprised that I've never dated any man before aside from this person's father. That why would they say another man?
Yeah.
They were just trying to sell records. Which by the time when you read the whole story, they now wrote there that probably the man was just claiming that he's the father of this person. You understand all of those things. Now let me tell you what happened to that mama. What came to her mind became depression, and according to what I heard, she slumped and she had stroke and she died.
Oh my God.
That is the depth of some of the things that we put out in terms of negative, which we say bad news is also news. When we put all of those things out, we think that, yes, we are just trying to sell.
Bad publicity.
Yeah, when we say all of that, but we need to also understand that internet never forgets. All of these things will come back to us. I'm trying to really watch, not to... If I had spoken to Oladips before now, probably I would be more expressive about my thoughts on it. Yeah. But personally, where I'm seated, I would tell you that Oladips is convinced in his mind for reasons that's why he did what he did. But for somebody like me that I know him through some of the people that are close to me, when I even heard that he died, I felt bad. I know of a friend that was cursing when she eventually found out that he was not dead, that why did he put her through all of the pain? That because sometimes we just think we do things and we are just doing it for ourselves, not looking at
people around us.
You understand? So if I see him and I have that conversation with him, then any other place I go to, I will freely talk on why I think what he did was either right or wrong. But what
do you think should be done about this frustration thing? Because I think it's not just Oladips. A lot of young musicians right now that they feel like they need to be seen more. They are going through all of this.
They need to be what? Seen more. So
they need to be heard.
The first thing is you have to get yourself to understand what traction is.
What?
Traction.
Okay.
Traction is a combination of you being popular and you being accepted. You know a lot of popular people that are not accepted.
Yes, that's true.
And you know a lot of accepted people that are not popular. But if you have both, then you are good. As a musician, you need to also understand now that you don't have to blow for you to be very successful.
Okay. You don't have to blow for you to be successful.
If you
the
have
music industry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Those that are in the industry that do what I do now, they will tell you.
Okay.
It's good to be popular.
Yeah.
I will come to popularity. Why you need popularity?
Okay.
But you don't have to be popular before you make money, before you have people listening to you. The kind of popularity we are looking for is we want everybody to focus on us. So that creates an expectation that if unfortunately everybody now focuses on you, they now like you, you will get it wrong thinking that you are the one they really like, which is the problem with popularity.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not you that they like. It is what you are doing. It's that popularity that they like, which everybody is coming.
Yeah.
That is why they call them fan.
Yeah.
They will blow you.
Yeah.
They will blow you. You understand?
Yeah.
But for you to be accepted, you need much more than fanhood. You need disciples. Disciples are people that will stick by you. If you have enough disciples that will listen to you over time, you should be fine. And when I say disciples, a lot of people that have numbers online that they don't have engagement.
Of course.
They are popular. They are not accepted. But there are, like for me now, somebody recently went to my Instagram page and said, he even has like 100,000. He doesn't have up to 1 million. But I told the lady, I said, go and check the kind of conversation and interaction that everybody that comes on my page, they know that I do live once in a while.
Okay.
That whatever this guy is posting is trying to add to them.
Yeah.
So I have acceptance.
Yes.
So and I stick to that part of acceptance.
Yes.
Probably somebody like me, I was a bit lucky that I became popular because I was not really out for that popularity.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's not bad to be popular. And I need to also say this for people because popularity actually gives you speed too. It gives you speed. Don't just stay at being popular. Make sure that you have capacity, that people will accept you more than you being popular, that they will accept your person by the place of acceptability. Being popular, even in churches don't call you because you are the best singer. They call you because you are popular. You understand?
Yes.
They call you only because you are very
when your
popular.
pastor hails you every time, it's because you're popular.
So because you are popular. So you need popularity. Even God promised us popularity, and this is to gospel artists that are watching. When people tell you that you are not called to the ministry of popularity, please don't believe it 100%. Genesis 12, he said he will bless Abraham, and it will be a blessing, and it will make his name great.
Oh, yes.
Making his name great means that it will make him famous, which means you actually need to be popular. Jesus Christ is popular. That's why we say 70 date. Prophet Muhammad Salalu and Salam. Yeah. I'm sorry, my Muslim bros, if I don't mention it, but peace be unto the prophet, was also popular. That is why people follow his teachings and all of that. All those people are popular. But beyond their popularity, they had substance. They had truth in them. They had because if it was just popularity that we know them from, then there's nothing for us to hold on to. One gave us the Quran, the other gave us scriptures, you understand, and all of that. So at the end of the day, you might understand that you need truth. You need more things that you will build your identity on. Beyond your affirmation from people. Because affirmation from people is what causes that depression. Affirmation from people is what causes the over expectation and all those entitlement mentality. Musicians. Yeah. So as a young musician, create what you have to create. Put it online. People are watching. Ashake was signed because we kept seeing videos. Though I have known Ashake before, he got signed. A whole lot of these guys were signed. Don Jazzy too is signing loads of artists that is by mere watching them on Instagram. This guy is talented, and they bring you in. So keep doing the work. Keep putting in the work, and be sure that music is what you are supposed to be doing.
So some people are just doing it and it's not even their way.
So I pray that you will not be passionate for what you are not called to do.
Oh,
imagine I'm being passionate for acting and I cannot even cram one line. I cannot even get into character. Even the way I live my life does not look like a character, not to talk of anything. So you need, if it is not working and you have been doing it for a long time and you have been doing too many, probably it's time to, like I said, question that thing that you are doing. You cannot be doing the same thing and expect a different result. It's the definition of insanity. Yeah. So look at what you are doing and questioning that. Is this really what I've been called to do? Because some people were called to be coaches in football, but they are hell-bent on playing football. And by the time they are 40, they are still hoping to join the national team. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to question and really ask that, okay, where does my strength in this thing lies? Or is there something that God is pushing me to do around this thing? It's not all of us that is going to act. Some people are going to be behind the camera. Some people are going to handle the sound. And everybody can be great in whatever place that they found themselves. So
yes. Talking about popular, I was going to ask you that, between money and fame, which would you go for?
Both.
No, pick one. Pick one, Cabasa, please.
Both. The money, the fame.
No,
but
pick one first.
Personally, I would rather, if I for both, I would rather go for being a person of value. And I will explain why. I can never be broke, Debbie, and I'm saying this with confidence. Because the state of being broke is you cannot produce again. You cannot create again. That is the state of being broke. Yes. So I can never be a failure. I can fail. I still fail. But I can never become failure. I can never become a failure. Because the state of being a failure is a state of being dead that you cannot do anything again. So if I say I want to be a person of value, as long as I can still create value, I will be popular and I will have money. So both, when I said both, I know what I'm saying. That I'm a person of value. I keep building, you understand, value every day. So I will always have both.
And all of that. Cabasa, trust me, I am one of your Shena mentee. Because you're a mentor. I admire you so much. God. Because as young as I am also, I do not believe in fame. I don't believe in one just being popular or looking for validation. I believe in value, like you said. Like there's always something about everyone.
But make sure that your value too becomes famous. So.
Yes.
So that you won't keep explaining and no evidence.
I'm only saying that it wouldn't be like a bone of contention for me.
It's not a reason why you are doing what you're doing.
Yes, it's just about me. I have to keep with whatever I want to do. I just want to impact, just like what you're doing. I'm sure that when you wake up every day, whether you're talking like you're doing now or you're saying something to people, I know your actions, your movement and everything, you do it in a way that I am a person of value. And whether I speak, whether I don't speak, people have to see this in me. Yes, I get it. So that is why I'm going to take you to the point of what are you going to tell these young married people? You've been in marriage for a while, and I saw your wife. She's so beautiful.
Thank you.
She's so beautiful, and I'd be like, sorry, in my head, but I was like, or what? And when I watched one of your interview, you were saying that you guys have been together for how long?
A long time. We've been married for 16 years.
16 years. Wow, that's a long time actually. So if you are able to, handle married for 16 years, and I see young people of 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, and they are going apart. What is it that you want to tell us? What is it you can educate us on? What are the key points? Even if you not tell us all because of time, but what are those things you feel we should put in consideration when it comes to marriage?
First and foremost, get perfection out of your mind.
Okay, you can never get someone perfect.
There's never a perfect marriage. I am lovey-dovey, smiling with my wife. Doesn't mean that we get it right every time. We are a work in progress too. We still, in fact, the day you stop fighting with your spouse, be more scared. Probably the love has actually finished. Yoruba will say.
So you guys will keep fighting.
Yoruba people say anything about sumo leoman jarunpalu. It's because you guys are still have feelings for each other. That is why you fight. If that feeling is not there, Debbie, and outsider will do some things to you that you just be like, it's not anything.
It doesn't affect me.
If anybody close to you does that to you, you pick it up, because the people that actually offend us the most are the ones closest to us.
Yes.
So you have to understand that offense will come, but your response to offense matters. I'm still going back to responsibility, where marriage itself is a responsibility. Love is good in marriage, but you need much more than love. You need commitment, which is also love. You also need to actually see yourselves more as growing. One of the major problems that we have with marriage, nowadays is see finish. Yes. Think about it a bit. Let me give you 1 minute.
See finish, like
Before the two of you got married,
okay.
there's always, I want to go and pick Debbie. Debbie, the love of my life.
Okay.
But the day she gets into my house, now I don't have to go and pick her. What else am I looking up to?
So
Everything
sleep
that
together in the same house.
I've seen her nakedness.
Yeah.
So all of that, if you are not careful, brings unnecessary familiarity from both the man and the woman. And when that steps in, what you will see is a situation where we start to disrespect ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, we start to disrespect ourselves because man, woman, when I use the word man here, I mean both male and female.
Yeah.
We have an insatiable hunger inside of us to always want more. So how have I been handling that is that I don't look at my wife from who she is now or what she has become. Rather, I try to build a vision of what she can become. So that there's something I'm looking forward to. That, okay, if every other woman is looking in a particular way and I get home and my wife is not looking at that, instead of me to keep looking at that, I look at, like, can't you see? I want to see that, okay, what if I do this thing to her? You understand?
Yeah.
What if I spend the kind of money? Though there are some of those things I won't do.
Like what?
I won't want my wife to do. Okay, what if I actually create an environment where she can actually become all of those things? And before you know it, when you create that environment as a man, she starts to spend monies around, to look like that, to start doing all of those things. See finish, you guys need to work on it. Then, if it is possible, I will tell you, be careful of social media. People,
with marriage.
Yes.
These days that, couples get to flaunt. I feel like it's just them, having fun because social media is now here. So we can't rule it out.
Do you know the danger of social media?
Okay.
Social media is, let me first say this, that there is no true freedom where you are really free, that nothing is holding you. Rather, you should see freedom from you having the ability to choose what you are enslaved to. There's no freedom without slavery. In quotes.
Yes.
Freedom is actually.
Okay, there's no freedom without slavery.
Yes.
So no matter how you
so
take
your
your
freedom should be your ability to be able to
that's
choose what you are enslaved to. Me, I am enslaved to the principles of God. So I am free from anything that is coming from. So some of us are enslaved to some of the vibes we get online. And and those vibes are like somebody wakes up in the morning and is like saying, I feel this is what this thing is. And everybody is saying, Udef Jobel. We are following what is true. We've stopped following the truth. Because what is true is relative. The truth is actually God. So God is saying this is what it should be. But because we don't understand in full what God is saying it should be, somebody will now stand up that, why? Okay, let me use this, because people actually tackled me after the Nedu show.
Oh, okay.
On the issue of, by the way, I respect women, and nobody should. I have a daughter who actually took a whole lot after me. And so people started asking questions. Let me pick this one out. When they said, I'm sure even Debbie, except if you don't want to be truthful, you're also struggling with being submissive to your man. Be sincere. It's not bad.
Because yes, it's a podcast. It's my podcast. I have to be truthful. Yeah.
So you are also struggling with being submissive to a man.
Yes.
And I'm sure deep down inside you're asking that, why would God tell me to be submissive to a man?
Not even in this time where I feel like we are equal. Where you talk, how you don't tell me to.
It's because we don't understand those things. It's because we left meaning and we follow what people have used words for. We don't know what that word means. Being submissive to a man does not mean you surrender to him. There are two different things.
Okay.
Submission is coming from a place of you are powerful, but I want you to actually listen to him, to understand him. If you read where that Bible was talking about that thing, Bible first said, woman, understand, before he mentioned be submissive. Understand means you go down to stand. That is, you go down to listen. okay, you now get the true picture, you now stand to now give an opinion. But we see submission from the way we have used it to be like, I have to surrender anything and even that scripture
but
says
Cabasa, this men to make it look like
that I'm going
we have
somewhere.
to be.
I'm going somewhere because
Okay.
we all that was what we all learned.
Oh yeah.
So it's not the word, it's not the truth that is a problem, it's what is true to us, which is how we perceive it. That is the problem. Bible is saying women submit to your husband as unto the Lord, which is to say that you only submit as far as it is godly. Because imagine if a man says, okay, let's go and steal. Will you now submit up to the... In fact, submission means that when he says, let's go and steal, I first go under. I now understand that you want us to go and steal.
Why?
But this is not unto God now. So we can't do this. And when God told man to love the woman, as Christ loved the church, do you know what Jesus did for the church? He died for the church. So the man is supposed to
die for us. Yeah.
Not die that you will kill you before you go and commit basic. The death now is more about you dying to how you feel, your emotion. Because the woman has been wired to all because
so
she's
emotional.
Yes, because she's. Let me be truthful with you. You guys are actually powerful, but you don't know. You guys think faster than we do.
Yes.
When you say yes, when you come like, honey, I think we should do this thing. Most times we are doing that thing already. And when you tell me, when my wife tells me, I think we should. I think also me, I'm thinking, but she has already started doing it. Well, the only difference is when you tell me to think, I think deeper. And when I think deeper, I come with most times stronger and more robust decisions. But most times you have started it. So both of us are actually supposed to be complementary. Because I have the ability to go deeper, you have the ability to be spontaneous. So when I go deeper and I bring out a decision, you should be spontaneous enough to actually do it. That is why we need ourselves. That was why we are supposed to come together. But because we don't understand what it means to actually submit, so we see submission from the place of slavery, we see it from the place of surrender. No, that is not what Bible is saying. Bible is saying you should actually understand the man, listen to him to understand him, to know what he's saying, and you check whatever he's saying with the fear of God, that as unto the Lord. When you now say, okay, in fact, most times you will discover that most of the things that you are fighting the man for, you will discover that you will not fight him for, because men, we don't talk.
Yes.
We internalize a lot, and most times when we internalize, when we come out from ourselves, you will not struggle with all of that. Then for the man too, which is, I'm saying it to a lot of young people, loving your wife sincerely, if it was easy, God will not tell you to love her. Because she's going to annoy you. True. God knew that you guys are going to struggle with submission. That was why I said submit, because you think faster. You only want to
listen to your own self.
You understand? So for us to now love you guys too takes a lot, because she's going to come with you with some spontaneous, let me use the word foolishness, which in most cases is not actually foolishness. It's just a way of expressing things. You might need to learn how to actually respond to all of that. Marriage is beautiful, but it is also hard work. So don't look for a perfect wife. Don't look for a perfect husband. Remember, like I said, that Nidu podcast, that even the Garden of Eden had a serpent, which is not supposed to be in a perfect place per se. And most of the times, both of you might need to also keep building value to, like, how will I put it? See something new in each other. Then sometimes this one might be a bit controversial. Sometimes both of you need to give yourself space to breathe. You
mean go away from the house?
I'm not saying go away from the house.
So how do you want to breathe?
Give your spaces as much as. Sometimes you as the babe, you need to take a vacation without your husband.
Okay. And the husband take a vacation without the wife.
When I travel alone and I come back,
you miss your wife more?
I'm telling you. You understand? Especially when everything is looking too monotonous, too draggy. Just take a trip and make sure the trip does not become too long, so that you don't go.
you don't start explaining yourself.
Yes. So you understand, so that when the two of you come back together, there is that
value and appreciate
yes, I've missed you and I've missed you. And not only taking a trip, even within the house, you can create rarity by doing some things new and all of that. But let me say this, and I will stop with this on this marriage issue.
Yeah.
Social media is not the encyclopedia or Bible for marriage. You have a lot of influential people. Influence does not being influential does not make people wise. We have a lot of foolish people that are influential, so it doesn't make them wise. Rather, we have influential fools who are teaching you what. Have you not seen people that are not married teaching you how to stay in marriage? So let's be careful with social media, even podcasts. Let's be careful.
Yeah.
People come online and they say, and when you see people say things that are controversial, be careful. They are struggling with those things. Like somebody will come on something and start to say that all men has come. Go and check it. She has either been served breakfast, buffet, and everything. And you cannot use your experience to define the truth.
Yes.
Your experience is peculiar to you.
Yes.
It might not be for everybody.
Yes.
So be careful of what you feed yourself with online. And talk to yourself rather than talk about yourself. Talk to yourself means I should talk to Debbie. Not that I will be talking about Debbie to another person. And I think with that does not make that it's going to be perfect.
Perfect. But at least you would avoid a lot of things that
drama.
Will cost the Cabasa, I knew that when you come, it's going to be like a therapy for me because I have learned when it comes to marriage. I'm still very young in marriage.
Then you pay me, you pay me for therapy.
I'm still very young. So we are going to be wrapping up. But I just want to ask, with the point where music is right now, like music is like, getting a bigger space around the world. Did you see this as that when you started music that it was going to get this big? And how do you think we should maintain it so it doesn't shift from us?
So I'm actually a very hungry person. So I can't imagine how I saw it then, right now, because where I see it going is more of importance to me than how I saw it then. But that it was going to be big. Many people might say we didn't see it that way, but sincerely, I saw it. Because of not just the sound that was coming up, but also from a scientific point that Nigeria has numbers. This is a country of over 200 million people. And there was a quest for Nigerian music when I was going to start. People were already demanding for Nigerian music and all of that. And in our head, we're like, which was why initially we were doing more of Yoruba kind of, and we knew there is going to be a lot of cultural undertone to all of this thing. So we saw it. So it's somewhere now. But the fear is for how long? So how do we keep it? I think we should be humble enough to know that the crown does not last forever. That there's going to be a time that is going to be off Afrobeat and something new will come. Probably we should start thinking of being the creator of the new thing that is going to come. Because there is really nothing new under the sun. Yeah. You understand? The new is from the old is from the new. Yeah. So it's all, whatever we are creating now is going to be recreated in such a way that it will become new. Yeah. So we should be the pioneers of those things that are going to become new. And also let us manage the narrative that is coming with it. I said somewhere recently that Afrobeat is going to get to a point that the next few Grammys, a white guy will be the one winning Afrobeat of the year. Because already now they are taking over the narratives. Yes. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Because anything that you don't want to grow, then you should have control. But if you want something to grow, you should let go of control and let it grow. It's going to be fine if I see a white guy win Afrobeat. But make sure, what I'm saying is we should not lose our ingenuity. If this thing is our own. So to keep it to being our own, we might need to dig deeper into some of our hood. Some of our hood, like other genres that we have, like, Juju, Fuji. Let's keep digging into those things. God gave us those things for a reason. And if you keep digging into those things, bringing out influences and stories and all of that, I believe we'll be able to manage it in such a way that it will not get to a time that they will say Afrobeat, that they will even tell you that it never originated from Nigeria. So I think if we can do that, we are fine.
Thank you so much. I would have said what you have to say to the young musicians coming up, but you have said a lot. You've talked about, depression.
I'm still a young musician, by the way. I'm still a young musician.
Let us not argue about that. Yeah,
No.
we'll leave it in the comment section.
The problem that the likes of Debbie will have is probably Debbie met my music and she didn't know that I was even a very young boy then. So I'm still very young. The day you stop growing is the day you start getting old. So me, I'm still growing. By the way, I'm going to be dropping a body of work very soon.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I play around stuff. So I'm picking some of the old songs that I've produced.
Okay.
I'm bringing the new cats. When we say cats in music industry, I mean the guys that are popping now.
Yeah.
I'm bringing them on some of Nice's old stuff.
Okay.
Like
you're working with Nice?
So I'm using Nice's old songs, like Photocopy now.
Okay,
you know the song Photocopy is easy, and I have I have a vector rap on it. I have Anytime the Rain is Falling. I have a T.I. Blaze rap on it. I like the kind of life where they live. I have Olamide rap on it.
Wow.
And stuff like that. I'm just trying to tell people that there is still something from the old.
Wow.
That if you put something new on, it will still become brand new. So I'm still doing that. So I'm still a young.
I can't wait.
I'm still a young cat, still doing,
Cabasa, I really can't wait because you see all these old songs that you're talking about.
They are not old songs, they are songs.
Yeah, they are actually songs, but all these things from the past that you want to bring, I vibe to old musics than now. I don't know why. I think I just like it. It's more of soul suiting for me than
because you are coming from that generation.
That's why I can,
like my kids now.
Not the Gen Z's trying to.
So you understand. So for my kids now, I love what they hear, especially from the place of lyrics and all of that. And because I'm a music producer, I've lost the right to fall in love with only some kind of music. So I still listen to the Gen Z kind of music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And yes, because you need to, like you said, evolve.
Yes, evolve, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Cabasa. Thank you so much.
Firstly,
thank you so much for honoring my invite within a short period. You didn't stress me. So this is for other people coming here as big as Cabasa. Please don't stress me, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'll be signing out now. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for watching this podcast, Exciting Moments with Debbie. I really appreciate your support so far. And please keep showing so much love. And like you all know that this show is proudly sponsored by the PLS Studio. My face bit was done by Berry Glams and my outfit was styled and made by Sisi Kemi. Till I come your way same time next time. Make sure you like, share to friends and family, of course. Subscribe. Click on the subscribe button. Put on your notifications so you'll be the first to be alerted. Till I come your way same time next time. Catch ya and have a blessed week. Bye.